different organizations, and we let everybody in. So everybody comes, and we give them a tour, and they're very curious. You know, these kids were from Princeton, at a school where they were actually studying geometry, and they were designing a pinball machine in their studies. So it's kind of cool that teachers are incorporating what pinball machines are into a curriculum to teach them mathematics and theory of geometry. And they were there. You can go to the next one. They were there, and what we found at that time was all the boys gravitated towards The Hobbit, and all the girls gravitated towards Wizard of Oz. I mean, what a surprise! You know, I kind of knew that, but they all love those games. And you can go to another one. You probably, in these pictures, you won't see anybody like this. You won't see any kid like this.
Wow.
So they were all, their whole attention span, I had it the whole time they were in the factory. It was really very cool. It was something to see. Go ahead, go to the next one. They at the end of the tour, which was maybe about an hour and a half, they did ask a lot of questions. They all wound up at my office, and I signed a bunch of crap. I mean, I signed a bunch of collectibles for each one of them. They all took something home, and some of them might put it into their college fund. I don't know, but it was great. And you know, those kind of groups, that's the future of pinball. You know, I was here earlier, and some of the guys from the club up in Canada, they were talking about, you know, how you have to keep spreading the word of pinball, how you have to keep evangelizing, because that's what we're really doing. You know, you have games at home, your friends come over, that's great. Strangers come over, that might not be so great, but they learn pinball. And they learn about what's going on, and they say, wow, I didn't know I could have a pinball machine at home. Then before you know it, that person has more games than you have. So it's pretty cool how that happens. Okay. I was invited about 2 months ago. Well, there's a lot of retirement communities around our area in central New Jersey, and this is an upscale one. It's called Four Seasons. And some guys from the men's club found our building, and they came in and they invited me. And actually they came in the door and they said to one of my guys that answered the door, they said, we're looking for a speaker. So they thought, okay, you know, what do you need a speaker for? Which
pinball your talks a lot. That's what they ask themselves.
Yeah, so it wasn't a speaker for a game. They're asking for somebody to come to the men's club to speak about pinball machines. So Ken, who we love in the building, who does everything, went and found me.
Does not talk a lot.
Yeah, no. And Ken said, oh, Jack can speak, he just won't shut up, but you know, he can speak. So I went there, and it was really cool, and these guys, most of them are World War II veterans, and the guy playing that game was over 90 years old. It was really great. They had a great time. Pinball was something that probably in a lot of these retirement communities, it would be a good thing to have in the clubhouse because of you know, reflexes and motor skills and interaction, social interaction. So those people out there, opportunists or entrepreneurial people like Todd, you know, figure out maybe you can go to Brookdale and all these places and get them some pinball machines because they loved it. They had a great time. Good. Yeah, and this guy was like 92 years old. And I was, you know, I was happy he was standing, but he was actually playing the game. It's pretty cool. Dialed in. So Dialed in, still going strong. We're selling a lot of them. It's kind of Gabe's theme for the show. Go ahead, keep going. Go ahead, Butch. I'm sorry to wait.
That was my cue, sorry.
Yeah. So you see in here, Butch talks about changes. You know, when we first had the prototype game, our geniuses, our Einsteins, they named the theater Einstein Theater. And they thought it would be pretty cool, except like this Jewish hospital in New York, which actually owns the name Einstein, which was given it by the family, said, you can't use that unless you pay us like a shit ton of money. And we said, no, that's okay. We'll just call it something different.
Or you send us a bunch of crap signed by Jack, maybe.
They didn't want that. They wanted me to sign some checks. That's what they wanted me to sign. So, you know, if you remember, it was really a great expo. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of people in the room. It was Pat Lawler's return.